Hello everyone, Paperbag Breaker here. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded. I've just been busy getting ready for finishing up high school and everything, getting ready for graduation. So that's why I have not been uploading recently. I've been having to finish everything. But I'm here making this video, which is this, since the Switch 2 is only coming out in less than a week when I'm uploading this. I'm making this video talking about my experiences with every single Nintendo console I have played, and I've played a lot of them, like most of them actually, mostly from my uncle, but some other ones which I will now go into detail with. I'm going to be starting with the release date of the consoles instead of the order I've played them in. So let's start with the NES. I played the NES back when I was in elementary school. Me and my brother went to this daycare called Little Country Schoolhouse. It had an NES set up there. We would go there before and after school and during the summer. Usually, no one was allowed to play on the NES unless there was a few kids left. And me and my brother were usually the last kids there. So we would always go play on the NES. The games that I remember playing a lot on there was, well, the original Super Mario Bros. Because they had that there. But also, I don't remember the name, but a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, which was very fun from what I remember, but it wasn't the best. But that was mostly because I was a dumb kid, elementary. But it was one of my favorite times because, like, I remember always waiting to be the last few kids just to do it, because this was one of my earliest times playing video games, and it was just special to me because it connected with me and everything. But after this, the next console I was able to play on was the SNES, which I didn't get to play. I've only played on it once, because one time my uncle, which he's more into video games than anyone else in my family, so he was able to connect with me and my brother a lot. He took us to this retro video games. He took us to this retro video game store where they had a bunch of old consoles, like the PlayStation, the original NES, the SNES, original Xbox. And you were allowed to play on them, but you had to, like, it was like a rent thing where it was like after you would do it, you'd be able to play on it for a bit. The game that they had on the SNES was Yoshi's Island, which this was my first time really playing like a game like this, which was fun. It was difficult because, well, first time playing, and I only got to play it for like 10 minutes before we had to go, but it was still fun. I haven't played on the SNES since then, but I hope I can one day, and it's just a really fun time. But alright, the next two that I'm going to be talking about are from my uncle's. Actually, he was the one that introduced me to gaming, and this next console that I'm talking about was my first experience with gaming, the Nintendo 64. My uncle owned this one, and even though I never got to play on it much, since we didn't get to see him often, we saw him like once a year, it still holds a special place in my heart because, well, it was my first video game, really. The two games that I remember playing was Mario 64 and Mario Kart 64. Mario Kart 64 with my brother, but we always came in last because we had no idea what we were doing. But it was still fun. Though I remember always getting hand cramps just from playing with it because of the way the controller was laid out. It was so weird. But it's something nostalgic about it as well. I love it. But the next one, which is one that me and my brother probably put the most time in out of all my uncle's consoles, which was the GameCube. We would go visit him, and he would have a lot of GameCube games. Like the three big ones that me and my brother played was Double Dash. We would always race, and like Mario Kart 64, we would always come in last. But that was just because we didn't know what we were doing. But the other game was Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. I didn't know what to do after I got finished Rogueport, so I would always have to reset, because I always forgot to save. But I was always fine with that because, like, it would be so long in between, I would forget what happened. But in the last game that me and my brother played a lot with my uncle was Super Smash Bros. Melee, which it was fun because it was like, well, my first Smash game, obviously, so it was fun and it was awesome and everything. But it holds a special place in my heart of him playing with my uncle, because we didn't get to see him often because it was just difficult seeing him because he didn't live close enough when this happened. Alright, this next console is very special to me because this was my first technical console that I owned, but I didn't own it on my own. It was given to me and my brother, which it was a hand-me-down from my uncle when he got which was the DS. Me and my brother had to share it, but it was still fine. Me and my brother were fine with sharing it because we each got 2 games. Our uncle, when he gave it to us, gave us 2 games. Pokemon Black and White. And those were our first Pokemon games, which I loved. So I enjoyed playing it a lot. And actually, after that, he got us another game, Diamond and Pearl, afterwards, because he found his old copies, and he wanted to just let us have it. So we had Diamond and Pearl and Black and White on our 3DSs. But DS, sorry. The DS, it's probably one of my favorites because most of the time, me and my brother, the games we had either had to have 1, we had to get 2 versions in case of Pokemon, or 2, it had to have multiple save files, like the Mario and Luigi games. Like, I had the original Bowser's Inside Story, but I had to share it with my brother and everything, which was not that fun because, like, we had to share games and everything, but it was fine, I guess. But one of my most special memories was actually the time I got injured because, well, back when I was in elementary school at the daycare, Little Country Schoolhouse, something like this happened. And after that, I had to go to the hospital. And I'm not going to go into details about why I had to, specifically like what happened to me, but my dad, I remember him coming in with Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games for the DS. This was special to me because this was the first game that was mine. Like, I didn't have to share it with my brother. This was my game, specifically just for me, and it just holds a special place in my heart because of that. And, well, after that, we got the Wii. Also, it was not a hand-me-down from my uncle, but it was the Wii. It's a tie thing. We played it at the daycare because they had one there, and after we tried it, we asked our parents for one, which we got one for Christmas that year, even though it was out for a while. So, but the Wii holds a special place in my heart because it was, well, we didn't own many games then. Like, we had Super Smash Bros. Brawl. We also had Mario Sluggers, but those were the only real Nintendo games we had. But the games that me and my brother easily put the most hours into that we loved was Skylanders Giants, which I have some of the figures right here. Most of these games I've lost due to just giving them away or my mom giving them away or older. But Skylanders Giants, I've always held on to. I always held on to these 2 figures because these 2 were special to us, which was Bouncer and Gnarly T-Rex. These were our first Skylanders that we ever got. And me and my brother actually saved up for them, so these 2 are special for us. But Skylanders has just been like a franchise that me and my brother would always play. And it was probably the game we put the most hours into, but it was nice. And it was special for us. And next console is one I've been playing a lot recently, the 3DS, which I actually got 2 this Christmas as gifts from my family, which I have right here, a 2DS XL and a 3DS XL right here, which me and my brother, this was the first console that came out that me and my brother got that we had when we were already alive. Like, this came out when I was already born. It was a gift from my grandparents, and me and my brother both got an original one. Sadly, that original one got lost when we moved, but oh well. I got a new one after that, but me and my brother, we loved our 3DSs. It was probably the console that we put the most hours into. Like, out of all of them, besides one, which I will get into later. But it was special to us, because this is the first console that me and my brother didn't have to share. We each had our own, so we didn't have to share it at all. So I loved it, and it was great. And I actually have some of my original games here with me, which I have Miitopia, which I actually got from an experience where I had to go to the dentist, and due to some teeth not being gross, so I had to rip my own out. And if my mom said I did to save money, she would got me a game, so I got Miitopia, Kirby Planet Robobot, which I got as a gift from it, Yokai Watch 1 and 2, and my first WarioWare game, WarioWare Gold. And this kind of like started getting me into more different genres, because originally I would only really have Skylander games and Nintendo games. That was it. But these ones kind of like with Yokai Watch, it started introducing me to games that were fun that weren't made by Nintendo, and they were different. And I love that. But after that, me and my brother got the Wii U, which we got some good things for it. We got it on a Christmas day. I don't remember exactly when, but the games we had were, we got the Splatoon bundle one. So when we got it, it came with Splatoon, and that was our first game. And me and my brother would take turns playing it like usual, but it was fun. Like, we even came up with our own way to play hide and seek on Splatoon 1, where the hider would use the gamepad and the seeker would use the TV. It was fun. But a lot of the things we got were mostly like, I got some Paper Mario Color Splash, Mario 3D World, the next Smash Bros. Game, and all that. But I also, one game that I remember always enjoying was also a Skylanders game. We got two. We got the Wii Mario of Skylanders Superchargers and the Wii U one. So we had a turbocharged Donkey Kong and Hammer Slam Bowser. I don't know where they are, but they're somewhere around here. But the Wii U, even though it wasn't the best console, I loved it. Like, it was great. I remember just like sneaking into our old like playroom that had all of our video games and everything, and playing it until my mom caught me in the morning, it was fun. We didn't own a lot of games but it was still fun to play all these games that we had, and I just loved all of them. And for the final console, the Nintendo Switch. For the Nintendo Switch is the one I put the most hours into, and I love it a lot because well you can play it at home or on the go, and I love that. But also because with most of Nintendo, before we got the Switch, I would usually only be getting Nintendo games. It's like games made by Nintendo, that was it. But with the Switch, it introduced me to a lot more games, like a lot of games that weren't made by Nintendo, and it introduced me to a lot of my favorite genres, like roguelikes, fighting, puzzle, all that, which I have to thank it for, because like it gave me two of my favorite games, The Binding of Isaac and Enter the Gungeon, plus a lot of my favorite fighting games like Guilty Gear, BlazBlue Cross Tag, and some of my favorite like puzzle games, like solving games, like Ace Attorney. I love the Switch because of this. It was great, and I'm excited for the Switch too. Even though with all of this hate that it's been getting, I love it. And the Nintendo, and I don't know, it's just something. Like, the Switch has been with me for most of my life, actually. Like, it was one of the first video games it was like the first one, and I'm just like, you know, it's sad to see that the next console's coming to replace it, but I don't know how to put it in words, really. It's just a feeling. I don't know, but it holds a special place in my heart, and I'll always, like, I'm still gonna hold on to this one, because unlike most consoles where my parents gave it away, this one, it's my Switch. Like, originally when we got the Switch, me and my brother had to share it, but that was purely just because we only had one. But once my brother graduated high school, he got his own Switch, a Switch OLED, and then our Switch became his. Our Switch became mine. I had to give him most of our games because to make it fair, but it was still fine. But it's just important because this is the first console that I had that it taught me a lot about like keeping it safe and all of that, and like saving up to buy my own games, because that's what I did. And finally, we're gonna be talking about the Switch 2. Even though it's not out yet, I still have opinions on it. This one I'm excited for because this is the first console that I got that's mine. Like, I saved up for it. I earned every single dollar for it. It's no one else's. It's mine. I saved up for it. I don't have to let anyone use it. I'm saving up for everything, including the games. So it's just like special because this is the first time I'm actually doing something like big. Like, I saved up for like half a year for this. and I'm just happy for it. But that's all I gotta say for now. I'll be making more videos soon after I graduate. You will be getting a video the day the Switch 2 comes out of an unboxing, and you'll be getting 3 videos before it comes out in shorts. But that's all I have to say. Paper Bag Breaker. I hope you had a good time, and I hope you like and subscribe. See ya.